All right, apologies for the train, but it's been like 15 minutes and I'm out of patience. So what I'm doing today is straightening out the forks on my motorcycle. I had two low-speed tip overs on the left side, and what happened is the forks are misaligned and it feels like the left side of the handlebars is way too far forward. So what happens in these low-speed crashes, or if you hit a bump in the road hard enough, this big top piece here is called a triple clamp. This is the top of one fork and this is the top of the other. And you've got another triple clamp right here that holds the forks. And if you hit something real hard or you pull the handlebars while the wheel is immobile, what happens is the forks get out of alignment. There it goes. But these forks get out of alignment. So what you have to do is loosen the hardware and then it'll just pop back straight. Super simple. So you don't loosen anything down here. On my bike, there's two bolts on each side to loosen this clamp, so I leave this one tight. And on the top on my bike, I've only got one bolt to loosen the clamp up here. Obviously, different bikes are going to have different styles, but only loosen one of these. If you loosen the top and the bottom, your fork is going to come through. And if you're real unlucky, it'll pin your hand against something. Bad deal. Only loosen one of them. Another thing you're going to have to do is, see that big nut right there? That nut is for the stem. That has the bearings, you know, in the frame. It rides on bearings, and that's where your steering pivots. So you got to loosen that nut also, and then once you do that and just one of your triple clamps, it'll just pop back straight. It's that simple. This particular bike, I have to remove the handlebars to get to that. So I've got these plastic covers, pop them out with an O-ring pick. Remove these bolts. A lot of motorcycles, you want to remove these first and then these, because a lot of factory manuals will say when you install the handlebars, tighten these all the way and then snug these up. So these are going to be super tight. These first and then these. Handlebars come off, I just lay them forward, and then this nut is 30 millimeter, which is an unusual size to have in a kit, but I purchased one because you use them on wheel bearings and other stuff. If you've got an older bike, you might need a wrench that looks like this. It's a round collar. It's not a nut, it's a collar, and it's got notches in it that you have to put this in and then use it to turn that loose. There'd be two of them. One is to actually set the tension and the other one's a lock one. So if you've got that type, you got to take the top one loose first and then back the bottom one off. Everything will snap loose, tighten it back up. Something you might want to do before you remove your handlebars, which I've already got this mark, but if you trace just a little line, just right like that, you'll know how far they need to go side to side. And then you put a line on the handlebars and up your clamp. Then you'll know where to rotate them to. I've already got that mark on both sides, but I thought I'd do it again just for you. And these can just get rotated up out of the way. Now if you've got a friend to help you, this is where he needs to. So I do it by myself. So I position this so I'm pulling it towards me to loosen it. I put my legs on either side of the wheel, make sure I got it nice and square on there. And it does take some effort. Popped it loose. Everything will just snap right back into place. And now, take the breaker bar off, set my torque wrench, and then tighten it back up. Now with torque wrenches, you're going to have to figure out what your specific bike takes. Mine takes 76 foot-pounds, I think. Yep. 76 foot-pounds. But yours will vary. You can probably find a factory service manual online for yours. They're usually anywhere $50 to $100 or more. But the factory service manual is what you want, not the owner's manual. Factory workshop service manual. All right, so hold the wheel. There we go, that easy. aligned, reassemble, make sure you tighten all your hardware back up, handlebars on, all of that.